Time for this week's quick Q&A.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you, especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you're bleeding. I don't trust words, I trust actions. I don't care what you heard, I'm not slacking.
So here I am doing my very, very best to get out a bunch of videos. I've got a few other videos from the people you suggested to do from last week that I'm working on for this weekend. I also am working on Mr. Hyde, the pre-workout review for that one. That got put on the shelf because those ones take a ton of fucking time compared to just me sitting and fucking bullshitting in the fucking car. So look for those ones to be coming out here this weekend too. I've got a few other people I'm gonna make the videos on just because I don't have enough enemies right now. I figured I'd need a few more people to fucking hate me. And actually, I think one or two of them are people that already hate me. Their fans already hate me, but I just want them to hate me a little more, you know? Because death threats are fun. So today I posted a quick Instagram Q&A, just basically asking for 5 questions, the 5 that I choose. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you should. It's Every Damn Day Fitness. And I will often put like a poll there or ask a question to subscribers and see what they want me to talk about on film. Today I did a quick one just out of nowhere because, I wanted to, and it's my fucking channel. But it has to be a good question. Like I got one on there that's funny, but like the question is, can my wife eat her own placenta if she's a vegan or vegetarian? While it made me chuckle, I don't fucking know. I would imagine it doesn't make her a fucking vegetarian anymore. I don't know. Sick, but valid. I'm not going to actually include it as the questions, but anyway, the first question comes from Chase Gibble. I hope I got your name right, dude. Do you use more energy doing cardio or lifting? Sometimes I can't tell. See, that depends. I mean, there's so many variables. What kind of cardio, what kind of lifting. Also, the intensity of the lifting, the intensity of the cardio. Like, cardio technically is like if I'm walking on an incline, that's expending energy. A lot of people consider that cardio. I personally prefer to just work out really, really, really hard and lift instead of doing some running and stuff like that. I don't mind the walking necessarily because it doesn't really hurt my joints, but jogging fucks my knees up. It really does. In fact, my knees are a little sore right now because I did a little bit of jogging work and a little bit of hip training the other day. So it fucks my knees up bad. My hips, my lower back just fucking ache. But they don't necessarily from lifting heavier weight for lower reps, just really intense, very few breaks in between because there's not the impact on the joint. So calorically, I think they're pretty fucking close depending on intensity levels. If you put it into like a macro tracker, like I'm going to talk about that here a little bit later too because that was one of the questions. If you put it into a macro tracker, an hour's worth of cardio and an hour's worth of intense lifting is about the same. It may be different for like 50, 60 calories, depending upon your body weight and everything like that too, age, that sort of thing. But those are just estimates, what you get in calorie counters. Calorie counters and endurance trackers, or expenditure trackers, they're just guesstimates, basically. I personally think that I lose body fat quicker when my workouts are very, very, very intense. I'm getting there frequently and everything like that versus when I did a lot of cardio when I was younger. For obstacle course races, those sorts of things. So I think I lose body fat faster just by hitting the gym and monitoring my calories versus just adding cardio. And calorically, like I said, it depends on so many other things. It's really hard to tell. I know that's not really a question, but it's like kind of a guide. So the next one comes from Brian is godlike. Brian has no fucking self-esteem problems. Good for you, buddy. Fucking serious. Good for you. What's my favorite 4-day split? I used to do a 4-day split where it was like a bodybuilding day where I would, do like arms and calves and stuff like that just as accessory work just to be in the gym. And then I would have like a heavy squat, light dead, heavy bench day. And then the second day of the heavy stuff was like heavy deads, lighter squats or leg press, and like a upper chest day, like an incline heavy day. And then the third one would be like an overhead press day, front squats, and rack pulls, all heavy, And that worked really well for me. I liked it. I just like being in the gym more often than 4 days a week. But I switch it up a lot, though, too. I don't really have, like, a split I do because my travel schedule is fucked up sometimes, and I can't, like, actually dedicate this day to that time. That's why I don't take clients right now, like personal training clients. because I can't dedicate a given time to them, you know, and my weekends are my weekends. They're for me. And my training's important to me too. And a lot of times personal trainers have a hard time actually getting to their own training, especially when they have other jobs. But my favorite 4-day split would probably be that. I've seen other people do a little different, where they actually do like legs one day, back one day, chest one day, arms one day, or whatever, you know, everything like that. But I think legs should be done more than once a week. So even if I could only do a 4-day split, I'd make sure I did my legs twice a week. That's just me. The next one comes from Elias Rod 22. Why do my arms take so long to grow in comparison to all the other muscles in my body? That could be just you got shitty genetics, probably. I mean, my arms actually grow pretty quick. I don't even do arms barely at all anymore. I really don't. And my arms grow pretty easily and pretty quick when I do arm movements. I just save my elbows. I squat so much that my elbows actually hurt a lot from that, more than doing curls and tricep extensions, that sort of thing. But it could be your genetics. It could also be your program. I will say this, and this is not meant to insult you, and I'm not even saying it applies to you, but so many people think they work out so much harder than they actually do. They think they put forth really, really, really intense effort, when in fact you may be putting forth intense effort for what you think it is, but you could do so much more, or you're tired from your job or whatever. Like I've said in a couple other videos before, it would be different if this was your job. Like if your job was to work out, that's different, you know. But people come in already tired. They come into the gym already a little tired, so their intensity level is lower than what it might take for them to actually grow versus other people, you know, I mean, who get to work out for a living and shit like that too, where they're fully fresh. There's nothing else they need to do that day except for go work out. You know, if you've worked 8 hours and then you go to the gym, it's harder. I mean, the intensity level sometimes suffers. And that's one of the things I learned probably 5 or 6 years ago, where I thought I was working out really, really hard, and it really turned out then all of a sudden I got really, really motivated and decided to really push myself to see what I could do. And my workouts got way more intense, and I started, trying weight that I'd never tried before, and all of a sudden doing it. That could be it. But another thing is your nutrition on point, what exercises you're doing. It's hard to say by the general information you gave me, but if it's a serious lagging body part and you're hitting it with heavy intensity and you're hitting it with good nutrition, good rest, that sort of thing, it could just be your fucking genetics, dude. And that does suck. People with other bad arm genetics, like Mark Lobliner, big, huge dude, and has admitted to gear use, and still has his arms are kind of dwarfed by his chest and other stuff. He's even talked about it. I'm not talking shit on the guy, but anyway. Alex from Alpha Destiny, I think, has said that he has bad genetics for his arms when the rest of his body looks really, really good. So it could just be it. Like I have the same problem with my calves. My calves don't fucking grow. I mean, they really do. I could try the Cali Muscle method and do them every single day, but frankly, I don't. So it could just be your genetics, dude. I hope not. If not, try to change up your exercises. Maybe throw an extra day of arm movements in, but it could just be your genetics. Faithless Preacher wants to know what I think about glutamine supplementation for guys over 40. First of all, glutamine supplementation is only shown to be effective in people that are deficient in glutamine, like vegans, vegetarians, that sort of thing. People that don't take a lot of dairy into their life, because if you take in whey protein, which I take in a lot of whey protein, there's already a lot of glutamine in whey protein. So chances are, if you are taking whey, you don't need to buy a glutamine supplement. You just don't. It is one of the essential amino acids, and like I said, unless you're a vegan, vegans should supplement it. They just fucking should. But I don't think it's necessary. I truly don't. And there's no studies that really say they are. Like, if you're a hardcore endurance athlete, sometimes I think you need to supplement it too, from what I've read. But I think it's just wasted money, frankly. Especially if you take in a lot of dairy or you take in whey protein. Like, I don't take in a lot of dairy because I don't eat a lot of cheese and I don't drink a lot of milk, but I do drink a lot of fucking whey. And it's heavy in there. Anyway, the last one is from AJFFEMT. I'm not going to try to pronounce that if it's supposed to be spoken. I don't know. Anyway, How do you go about calculating your macros? I calculate every day. I record every day, and I use an app called Cronometer that can also be brought up on your desktop too. I'm going to link Cronometer below. I'm also going to link the information on glutamine that I got and everything like that too. I'm going to link a bunch of stuff below. I'm going to start getting better about doing that. Cronometer is excellent. The reason why I like it over the other ones, I used to use fatsecret.com, and they have a pretty good one because you can put your expenditure in there, like your exercises in there, and you can put in your food and everything like that. And it had a pretty good food library, and you can even scan the food item, and then it pulls up the macros. It's normally accurate. Sometimes you got to watch those on all of them. Sometimes you got to watch to see if the food item is actually accurate. Sometimes they don't have any fiber listed when it's a high fiber, food item, that sort of thing. But Cronometer breaks it down into the micronutrients too. Like you can actually see where you're at on your omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. You can see where you're at for B12. You can see where you're at for B6. All sorts of things. You can break it down, and you can set daily targets. You can customize it for your own thing. And I really like customizing mine. So it's by far the best one I've found, and it's Cronometer. You can find it on Apple and on Android. What the fuck, brain fart. You can find it on Apple and Android. I actually have an Apple for work and an Android for personal, and they communicate. They both have the app on them, just in case I only have one of the phones on me at one time. They can communicate between the two of them too, as long as you're signed in on both. And then you can even communicate on the desktop too. So it's outstanding, and it gives pretty accurate portrayal of where you're at too. I think it does a good job of calculating up the expenditure for the exercises. I think it does a good job of calculating up the food. It does everything except for give you suggestions on the food you need to eat. And I did see an app that did that before on Apple, I think only. But I much prefer Cronometer. And I record, besides the app, I record every fucking thing I put in my mouth. If I have 3 beers on the fucking weekend, I put the fucking 3 beers in there. If I have, a piece of pie, I put the piece of pie in there. Now, I don't weigh everything out. I eyeball that up because I think that's taken a little bit too extreme, at least for me. Some people do. But I put everything in there. Like if I cook a piece of fish and I use butter to cook the fish, I put how much butter I cook the fish with too. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people I just had coffee, but they don't actually record the creamer for the coffee. Or I had a piece of fish and they don't actually record the oils that they cook the fish in. And that's a lot of calories. A lot of calories. And then a lot of people don't record the stuff that they go out with, and if you go out on a Friday night, they don't record the beers or the drinks or whatever you're going to have. They don't record that because, it's just a cheat day. Well, record your fucking cheat day, because here's how this works. If you're at a 500 calorie deficit every single day and you're trying to lose a pound a week, right? And you go out and have a cheat day and you eat an extra 3,500 fucking calories in either beer and dessert and all sorts of shit like that, which is actually a lot easier than what people think, especially if you're drinking like vodka and cranberry, or vodka and orange juice, or vodka and Coke, or rum and Coke, or whatever. It's a lot easier than what people think because the mixer has a lot of calories and a lot of sugar in it. So it's a lot easier than people think it is to do that, especially if it's like a big event, like a party or something like that, whatever. It adds up real fucking quick. I don't know about you guys, but I can sit down and drink a 12-pack and not be swaying, and that's fucking 1,400 calories. Now I don't sit down and just pound them, but over the course of a day, I can easily do that, or course of the evening, I can easily do that. And I'm not proud of it. It's just the fucking truth. I'm from Pittsburgh. Trust me, if you were from here, you'd understand. It's just how it is. But record every fucking thing you put in your mouth, and then that way you have an accurate portrayal. That's how I do it, and that's my suggestion to everybody else. But so anyway, guys, thank you for the questions. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to be better about getting them the questions answered and posted up quicker. I've just been busy as shit. This thing has taken off a little bit faster than I anticipated, and it took me a second to catch up. I'm behind on some pre-workout reviews, which I'm going to get to, and I'm behind on a few other things, but I'm also working on getting a website put up, and I'm going to have a weekly rant, blog on there. I'm also going to have some original content videos just for the website too, and I'm definitely going to have Every Damn Day shirts, sweatshirts, and some other apparel on the website here within the next couple weeks. So look for that to launch, and I appreciate it. My name's Alan Roberts, and this is Every Damn Day Fitness. Like and subscribe. Hit me up on Instagram at Every Damn Day Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Every Damn Day Fit. I am also on Facebook at Every Damn Day Fitness, and I'm soon to be on the internet at everydamnday.com, and there'll be apparel and all that stuff, just like I just said a fucking second ago. Anyway, thanks for watching. God damn.